Now your Uncle Spurt is frankly sick and tired of playing with massive whoppers all day. That's why I'm always glad to see these more pocket-pleasing flip style phones launched, like the Galaxy Z Flip 6 and the Motorola RAZR 50. And now a rogue rival has stepped onto the scene, the suitably spooky sounding Tecno Phantom V Flip 2. And like its Samsung and Motorola shaped rivals, you've got another ruddy big cover screen that can get up to all kinds of shenanigans. You've got a big old beefy battery and some pretty solid specs all around. But is the Tecno Phantom V Flip 2 worth seeking out, or should you just flip at those Vs? Well, let's whip it on out of the box, take you on a full-on tour, test out the gaming chops, the camera tech, all that good stuff. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So what do you get in the box besides the Tecno Phantom V Flip 2? And no, the cat is not included. Well, you've got yourself a Tecno charger, 70 watts. You've got yourself a USB cable and a Pokey SIM pin. You've got yourself some sort of NFC cardy thingy. You've also got yourself a bit of condom case action to slap on that Tecno Phantom V Flip 2. And some stickers featuring some disgustingly cute wee animals, about 3/4 of which this lad here would merrily murder. Alright mate, don't go getting any ideas. Alright, so the Tecno Phantom V Flip 2 sports a similar-ish design to the original, now with an expanded cover screen. Once again, weighs a cockroach's chuff under 200 grams, and it's not too chunky when folded up. Like that Z Flip 6, you've got a glass back. It's actually Corning Gorilla Glass, although Tecno has helpfully not said what kind. And it's got lovely matte finish as well, available in either Moondust Grey or this here, Travertine Green? Travertine Green? It's kind of a pea soup green, I guess. Only a wee bit of branding on that back end designed by Phantom. I think it looks pretty slick, to be honest. Really like how that back end is smudge resistant, although the glossy metal frame does get all kinds of fingerprinty. At least it's another matte finish for the hinge, so that doesn't get all greasy and grimy. And you'll see that cover screen has grown massively to 3.64 inches, stretching around those camera lenses like the Motorola RAZR 50's front panel, although when you are using apps, etc., that section is actually cut off, it's not in use. The bit just above those camera lenses will still display the time, and you do get notification alerts popping up on there, which is pretty handy. The screen is pleasingly bright and poppy, and 413 pixels per inch as well, so nice and crisp. And that UI has completely changed up over the original Phantom V Flip, so you got your media controls there on the lock screen. If you swipe this way, you can actually choose from a variety of different themes that you've recently used. And then from your main screen, you can access a whole bunch of apps. You can also swipe down for notifications. And if you scroll to the very end, you'll see the app manager. This actually allows you to choose which app shortcuts appear on this cover screen. And as you can see, most of your apps are supported. That's a TikTok, WhatsApp, Spotify, etc. It's not quite as flexible as Motorola's RAZR 50 series, where you can run any app you want on there, but it's pretty good. Most of your bits are supported in some way. At least you don't have to fanny about getting all of your apps running on there, unlike Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip 6. And just like the Motorola, you've got a small variety of different games to keep entertained on the go, including this annoyingly addictive wee bugger, Crazy Pet. I don't know what it is about this game, it's so dumb. It's like right up there with Flappy Bird, but I just can't stop playing. I'm hopelessly addicted. Seriously, somebody send help, otherwise I'm gonna not be able to do reviews anymore. And yes, you can also keep entertained on the tube by playing with your pocket-sized fluffy pal. Oi, hands off me nuts. You've got quite a few of the fuzzy wee gits to choose from. And indeed there is a cat in there. Quite handy if you're sick of the real thing, bringing in mangled bits of bird and mouse. It's basically like a Tamagotchi, except thankfully they don't drown in their own cack if you forget about them for a weekend. Only problem is there's still no always on display with the Phantom V Flip 2, so when the phone hibernates you'll get this what looks like an always on display for a few seconds, and then it buggers right off. And then you've either got to lift the phone or give it a wee poke in order to actually wake it up again. Hello? Yeah, there's a fluffy wee twat. You can always change up the theming using your bundled NFC card. Just give it a quick tap, and as you can see there, instantly changes it up to the bunch of jumbly letters and stuff. Awesome. And that wee hinge is once again just about the right level of stiff. At least you can unfurl the Phantom V Flip 2 without looking like you're having a stroke. And at the same time, it's also rigid enough so the flip can be easily propped open for a bit of video chatting or enjoying your favourite bald knobber on YouTube. You can work it back a fair way before it finally flops open. So quite a wide angle there. Oh, there we go. And that 6.9-inch AMOLED display that's tucked away inside the Phantom V Flip 2 hasn't changed too much from the previous Tecno phone. It's another Full HD Plus panel, now with LTPO support, so the refresh rate can drop as low as 1 Hz to save power when that image is static. Bit of a shame that there's no always on display action here then either. It's reasonably bright, although you do have that shiny reflective glued on screen protector, so if it is a sunshiny day you will struggle to see what is going on. You'll have to probably find a bit of shade. But you can tinker with the colour output. You've got an eye care mode which you can automatically turn on, as well as PWM dimming. And yes, a stereo speaker setup that's pretty solid as well. Let's give this a wee blast on maximum volume, see if we can wake up the cat.
A game filled with sweaty adolescents who spend 15 hours a day camping out and sniping people in the face, pausing only to occasionally empty their bladder into a conveniently placed prime bottle, which for that drink would actually be an upgrade.
It's reasonably loud for a dinky wee device like this, and clarity doesn't take too much of a hit on that peak volume. You've also got full Dolby Atmos support here. Now, besides the cover screen personalization shenanigans, it's basically your usual HiOS launcher experience slapped here on top of Android. So, got quite a few bonus bits chucked on top of Android. There's a fair bit of personalization you can do. There's AI wallpaper generator shenanigans, because of course you've got to have some AI stuff on there. Keep on scrolling down. There's a special function setting where you've got the likes of the gaming mode. Got the usual smart panel shenanigans, which is just customizable shortcuts. Of course, HiOS can be a wee bit janky at times, especially on that cover screen where apps aren't optimized to run on it, to be perfectly fair, and they do warn you about that. But also, don't expect too many OS and security updates, and the timeliness of some of those updates might not be up there with the likes of, your Googles and your Samsungs. And unfortunately, there is a wee bit of crapware stuffed on here as well. All the familiars, so a good bit of Facebook, bit of Instagram. But what about the performance? Well, it's MediaTek's Dimensity 8020 that's stuffed inside of the Phantom V Flip 2. Everyday performance, absolutely fine. Gamers will be reasonably happy as well. Performance isn't as good as the likes of the Z Flip 6 with its Snapdragon chipset, but the Dimensity can just about handle the likes of Wuthering Waves on the lower to medium graphics settings. Once you start to boost up the graphics to higher levels, then you'll see a noticeable dip in that frame rate. Also, the musical starter occasionally crackle and break up. So I'd certainly recommend not pushing this phone too hard at all, especially as that top end around the edge starts to get really toasty after just a couple of minutes of gaming. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to get any worse than that, so you can play for a good half hour or an hour without this phone absolutely incinerating your fingers. And certainly games like PUBG and Call of Duty that scale to match your smartphone's capability should play absolutely fine, no worries. And oh yes, you do have that dedicated HiOS gaming mode as well, so you can give the performance a boost in those more demanding titles. You can also block notifications, you can lock the screen brightness, all kinds of great stuff. And somehow they found room inside of this dinky bendy frame for a pretty big 4720 mAh capacity battery. That's certainly pretty sizable compared with most rivals, and I found that the Tecno Phantom V Flip 2 will happily keep you going all day long on a single charge without too much stress. And that's even if you are hammering it pretty hard with a bit of video chat action using that camera a fair bit, and even the occasional bit of gaming on the likes of Wuthering Waves won't absolutely rinse that battery. And then when it is fully drained, well, it's got 75 watt wired charging support, so literally 45 minutes with a cable bunged in it. Even if it's completely drained, it'll be back up to 100%. And yeah, thankfully you've got the usual smart charging shenanigans, including some AI charging protection, which can learn your daily routine and then make sure that battery is only fully charged just before you get up. So no worries if you leave it plugged in all night long. So let's bring this lovely wee Tecno Phantom V Flip 2 unboxing type shenanigans to a close with a squint at the dual lens camera text stuffed inside of that cover screen. And this comprises an enlarged 50 meg primary sensor compared with the original Phantom Flip. And you've also got yourself a separate 50 megapixel ultra wide angle shooter. Now you can of course use this cover screen camera combo to shoot some selfies. You've got a bit of portrait style shenanigans on here, complete with a customizable blur effect, so you can get it as blurry as you like. I like it pretty blurry. And of course you can change up the aspect ratio. You've got shoot and gesture support as well, so you can just flash a palm and that will start the countdown. Not that this ever seems to help with my posing. But of course, if you actually open the phone, you can prop it up to take photos as well. And you've got a few extra bonus modes on here, including the likes of Super Night Mode. Got yourself a proper dedicated Pro mode if you want to mess around with the shutter speed, the ISO levels, the white balance, the focus. And here's just a few test shots I snapped with the Phantom V Flip 2 in the past couple of days, just to give you an idea of what it's capable of. Pretty good for those portrait shots, and it doesn't cack its pants when it comes to low light ambient shots. And yeah, you can do a good bit of vlogging at up to 4K resolution, as I'm doing right now. So yes, my face absolutely not made for Ultra HD. And lastly, squirreled away inside of the Phantom V Flip 2, you've got yourself a 32 megapixel selfie shooter, which can be used for a bit of hands-free vlogging. Woo, shoots up to 2K video. You've got eye autofocus, you can move about the place and stay nice and crisp. And you've also got a built-in flash on this bad boy, which is, oh yeah, nice and bright. That'll definitely do the job if you want to do some vlogging in the dark. And there you have it, my lovelies. That, in a tasty wee nutshell, is the fresh new Tecno Phantom V Flip 2. At the right price, it could be a decent rival to the likes of the Motorola RAZR 50 and the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. Software side's a bit more janky, has to be said. I do prefer the Motorola RAZR overall. It's just a fantastic, teeny tiny pocket-sized package. But anyway, it'd be great to hear your thoughts on the Phantom V Flip 2 down in the comments below. Please do plug subscribe, ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech and this guy licking out his own arse. And have yourselves a bloody wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.